Testimony wrapped up just a few hours ago in the Bennefield murder trial. He's accused of killing his estranged wife in front of their children. The jury saw videos that Bennefield recorded of himself just hours before he allegedly killed Keaira Hudson Bennefield. In the videos, which were taken only a block away from the crime scene, Bennefield talked about their marital problems and alleged abuse. He said, quote, "How much can a person take?" and "I don't want to go back to court," end quote. Police found a court appointment card in his car dated October 6th, the day after Keaira was killed. Closing arguments are scheduled for tomorrow morning.
This is Keaira Hudson being beaten without mercy by her husband. That day, Keaira did something most people couldn't imagine doing. She hit record. She posted the video online. It showed Adam's fists, her body taking the blows. Her hands trembled as she typed the caption, "This is what this man does to me, but I'm always treated like I'm the abuser." The footage was raw and violent, the sound of fists hitting flesh, the fear in her eyes clear as day. She still posted it. She hoped someone would believe her. She hoped someone would help. But here's the part that doesn't make sense. The world saw what Adam did to her, and nothing changed. 6 days later, she stood in her mother's hallway, pulling on a bulletproof vest. Her 3 kids stared at her, confused, afraid. Her mother asked why she was wearing it. Keaira's answer was low but sharp. "Because he's going to kill me. You don't understand. Think about that." She had proof. Everyone knew exactly what kind of man Adam was. She still had to wear body armor to take her kids to school. How does someone scream for help and still get ignored? Tell us what you think in the comments. Your voice matters. What happened next would shake an entire city. 3 children would lose their mother. This is the story of Keaira Hudson. Welcome to Grave Kisses, where love rots, secrets scream, and the dead don't stay buried. Like, subscribe, share if you're not afraid to dig a little deeper. Right now there are thousands of women like Keaira begging for help, ignored by the same system that's supposed to protect them. If you want to spread awareness about domestic violence and the failures that cost lives, please like, share and subscribe. Your action now could be the attention another victim needs. Keaira Hudson was more than a headline. She was a loving mother, a devoted daughter, a sister who held her family together. At just 26, she had built her life around the people she loved. Her children were her world. She had a way of making each one feel like they were the most important person alive. Friends and family said her face lit up whenever she spoke about them. She never missed a school event. She always made time for bedtime stories. Every day she made sure her kids knew they were loved. Keaira's bond with her family was deep. She called her mum and siblings constantly. She visited whenever she could. She remembered birthdays, organized gatherings, kept everyone connected. When there was a problem, you called Keaira first. She'd listen, she'd help. People said she could walk into a room and make everyone feel at ease. Her smile was real. Her laugh was contagious. She was fiercely loyal. Once you were her friend, you were her friend for life. It was during this chapter of her life that she met Adam Bennefield. At first he seemed charming, caring. Her family welcomed him. Like many new romances, it began with hope. Keaira had dreams. She had plans for her life. She lived for her kids. Every decision, every sacrifice was for them. She dreamed of a safe home, a steady life, a place where love wasn't just spoken, it was shown. Friends said Keaira was one of those rare souls who always put others first, even when it hurt her. That kind of heart would soon collide with Adam Bennefield's darkness, and everything her family, her future would shatter. Adam knew how to hide who he really was. The danger didn't come all at once. It crept in, slow and quiet. At first it was small things. Questions about where she went, who she spoke to. He wanted every detail. Keaira thought it meant he cared. She didn't see it for what it was, control. Then it got worse. He didn't want her seeing friends or family. Calls and texts made him angry. He made her feel guilty for wanting to be around the people who loved her most. Bit by bit, Adam cut her off from her world until she stood alone. And then came the first time he hit her. Like so many abusers, Adam was full of apologies afterward. He promised it would never happen again, said he loved her, said he'd just lost his temper. Keaira wanted to believe him. She still saw the man she thought she'd fallen in love with. We all lost my special. I lost a wife. I love my wife and she's gone. It's taken from not only them but from all of us, because I don't want to be here. I'm forced to be here. Violence, apologies, calm, then violence again. Only now, Adam's apologies meant nothing. The attacks came harder, more often. What began as shoves turned into punches, beatings. Keaira learned to live on edge, always bracing for the next explosion. She tried to be perfect. She thought maybe, if she just did everything right, it would stop. But she knew she needed help. She started keeping proof, photos of her bruises, screenshots of his threats. Her sister became one of the few people she could trust. In hushed moments, Keaira shared what was really happening. Her sister saw the fear in her eyes and begged her to leave. But leaving wasn't simple, not with kids, not with the danger that followed her everywhere. She called the police, filed reports, asked for help, over and over, but the system that was supposed to save her failed. Adam would be arrested, and then released, and the nightmare would start again. The worst part was what her kids saw. They felt her fear, even when she tried to hide it. She wanted to protect them, but the trap was closing in. Still she kept fighting. Still she refused to give up. Then came September 2022. After months of silence, she made the bravest move of her life. During one of Adam's violent attacks, Keaira hit record. The footage was gut-wrenching. The sound of fists striking her, the terror in her eyes. With shaking hands, she posted it online. She wrote, "This is what this man does to me, but I'm always treated like I'm the abuser." She was begging, one last time, for someone to believe her. For help she'd been denied again and again. The video spread fast. Thousands saw the truth. This was proof no one could ignore. She thought this was it. She thought this would save her life. Adam was arrested after the video went public. For a moment, Keaira thought maybe this time would be different. Maybe the system would protect her. But hope collapsed fast. Adam was released almost immediately. The court gave her a protective order, a piece of paper that promised to keep him away. But she knew what so many victims already know. Paper doesn't stop someone determined to hurt you. Her fear only grew. She knew Adam would be furious about the video, furious about the humiliation. She knew he would want payback. The protective order meant nothing when you've seen how violent someone can be. Terrified for her life and for her children, Keaira moved in with her mother. She thought being around family would help. But even in her mother's house, Keaira couldn't shake the feeling that Adam would find her. Then she did something that stunned her family. She bought a bulletproof vest. Her mother watched in horror as Keaira strapped it on before taking her kids to school. When her mother asked why, Keira's words froze her in place. "Because Mum, he's going to kill me. You don't understand." Let that sink in. A young mother wearing body armor just to take her children to school because she knew her ex wanted her dead. Even with video proof, even with a protective order, Keaira still felt unsafe. Her family tried everything. They called police. They reached out to domestic violence groups. They begged anyone to take the threat seriously. But no one seemed to listen. The system kept failing her. The day before her murder, Adam was arrested again, this time for assault. Keaira should have been relieved, but by the end of that same day he was out. Less than 24 hours before he would kill her, the system let him walk free. That night, Keaira knew Adam was somewhere out there, probably planning. She had done everything right, documented the abuse, gotten a protective order, moved somewhere safe, bought her own protection. But it didn't matter. The system meant to save her had failed, and Keaira Hudson's story is not rare. Across America, women are being failed by the same institutions that promise to protect them. Protective orders get broken every day. Dangerous abusers are released only to hurt their victims again. Do you think protective orders and bail reform laws are enough to keep victims safe? Let us know your thoughts below. The morning of October 5, 2022, started like any other Wednesday for Keaira Hudson. She got up in her apartment, got her 2 young children ready, and planned to drop them at daycare before work. At 26, her life revolved around her kids. They were her world. She gave them stability and love. She strapped her 4-year-old daughter and 2-year-old son into their car seats. They were chattering, happy, unaware this would be their last normal moment with her. But Keaira had been living with a fear that had been growing for weeks. Adam had been more unpredictable, more threatening. She knew he was angry about the custody deal and the protective order. She didn't think he'd take it this far. Driving through Milwaukee, she kept checking the rearview mirror. She had gotten used to it. She never knew when Adam might appear. Friends and family had noticed her jumpiness. She always looked over her shoulder. She always locked her doors. What Keaira didn't know was that Adam had been watching her that morning, waiting. In his mind, this was the day. He had already recorded videos explaining himself. Now he was ready to act. Adam followed her SUV through the city. He kept his distance at first, close enough to track her, far enough to avoid notice. His anger had been building for weeks. He felt like he had nothing to lose, and in his twisted thinking, if he couldn't have control, no one could. As Keaira drove down a busy street, she saw a familiar car in her mirror. Her heart pounded. It was Adam. She stayed calm for her kids, but panic was rising. She thought about calling the police but kept driving, focused on keeping them safe. Adam sped up. He got closer. Then he rammed the back of her SUV. The jolt was violent. Her kids cried in the back seat. She tried to get away. Adam rammed her again, harder. The sound of metal tearing through metal filled the street. Other drivers saw, but it happened too fast to help. After the second hit, Adam got out. He walked toward her SUV, gun in hand. Adam raised the gun and fired again and again. Glass exploded. Bullets tore through the car and into her body. She was hit multiple times. She died where she sat. Her children were in the back seat. They saw everything. They weren't touched by the bullets, but the moment would scar them forever. It happened in daylight, on a busy street. Traffic froze. People screamed. Drivers grabbed their phones and called 911. A few ran toward the SUV, but there was nothing they could do. The children cried for their mother, not understanding why she wouldn't answer. Adam walked back to his car. He got in, started the engine, and drove off. Behind him, he left a city in shock. He left 2 children without a mother. The news spread fast. People couldn't believe it. Not just the killing, but that it happened in front of the kids. Within hours, Milwaukee police named Adam Bennefield as the suspect. Witnesses had seen the ramming, the shooting, and the plate number. A warrant went out, but Adam was gone. He stayed gone for a week. Police searched everywhere. Friends' houses, family homes, motels, empty buildings. The city stayed on edge. Investigators gathered witness statements, combed through evidence from the street, and then they found something that would break the case open. Videos Adam had made before the murder. On October 12, 2022, 1 week after the shooting, they found him. He didn't fight. It was like he knew it was over. The videos told the rest. In them he raged about Keaira, about the courts, about how she'd turned his children against him. He said she'd ruined his life. He said he was going to kill her. He never once said he was sorry. Months later, the trial began. The prosecution's story was simple. Adam stalked and murdered Keaira in front of their kids. They brought the witnesses, the evidence, and Adam's own words. The defense claimed he'd snapped under stress, that his mind was broken. But the videos showed planning, not madness. Keira's family took the stand. They spoke of her love for her kids. They spoke of what was stolen from them. The courtroom felt the weight of her absence. The trial stretched on for weeks, but there was no suspense. The jury saw what he'd done and heard him admit it. They found Adam Bennefield guilty of first-degree murder. Adam was convicted on all counts. At sentencing, the judge gave him life in prison without parole. He called the crime one of the most heinous he had ever seen, made worse because it happened in front of children. Keira's family heard the sentence. It was justice, but it could not bring her back. It could not erase what her children had seen. They thought the fight was over. It wasn't. Justice for Keira's murder was only the start. Her family wanted more than a verdict. They wanted change. Her mother and sister filed a lawsuit against the Cheektowaga Police Department and the town. They said the police failed her, even after she begged for help. The lawyers laid it out. Police had ignored obvious warnings. They had not taken Keira's fear seriously. She had called them, filed reports, even handed over video evidence of Adam's abuse. Still, he was released again and again. Still, he came back to threaten her. Her family said if the police had done their job, she would still be alive. Keira's sister stepped into the public eye. She told reporters the system had failed her sister and that it was failing other women too. She went to city council meetings, worked with lawyers, spoke anywhere people would listen. Their mother joined her, driven by grief and purpose. She knew it was what Keira would have wanted. The battle has been long. The police in the town stood their ground. They said they followed procedure. They said they couldn't have known Adam would kill. They said they did everything the law allowed. But Keira's family wouldn't stop. They wanted change, real change. They called for police to take domestic violence seriously, for better training, for better danger assessments, for no more missed warnings. The lawsuit could take years, but to the family, it was never about money. It was about making sure Keira's death meant something. They wanted her story to shake the justice system awake. Her story traveled far. News outlets across the country picked it up. Social media amplified it. People who had never thought much about domestic violence began to see it clearly. They saw the cracks in the system. They saw the danger of ignoring threats. Advocacy groups joined the call. They pushed for better police training, more resources for victims, stricter enforcement of protective orders. They wanted the system to listen. They wanted it to act before it was too late. Keira's death became a symbol of what was broken. It also became a rallying cry. She was so much more than a victim of domestic violence. She was a mother who lived for her children. Every choice she made put them first. She was a daughter and a sister who filled her family's home with joy and laughter. She was the friend who always showed up, the woman with plans and dreams for tomorrow. In her last months, Keira showed a courage most will never have to summon. She documented the abuse. She reached for help again and again. She never stopped trying to shield herself and her children. Even when the system failed her over and over, she kept searching for a way to survive. Her strength in that danger is something no one should forget. Today, her children are growing without her. They live with the memory of what they saw, but they also carry the love she gave them. Her family is still fighting for change, determined that her story will lead to something better. We can honor Keira by supporting victims in our own towns, by pushing for stronger laws, and by making sure her story is never erased. Every time we speak up for someone being abused, every time we demand more from the justice system, every time we refuse to let these tragedies fade from memory, we are keeping her legacy alive. Keaira Hudson deserved to live. She deserved to watch her children grow. She deserved to chase her dreams, to find safety, to find happiness. We can't bring her back, but we can make sure her death was not for nothing. We can protect other women facing the same danger. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share Keira's story. Your voice could help save another woman's life.